justice for all. Thank you. Be seated. Okay, this meeting of the commission, or hearings, will be held in person at the second floor meeting room in Town Hall. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while we provide an option for remote attendance and/or participation is being provided as a courtesy, the meeting will not be suspended or terminated if technical problems interrupt the virtual broadcast unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with particular interest in any specific item on this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. Okay, so we'll do a roll call. All right. Associate Commissioner Sadie Backstrom.
Here.
Okay. Commissioner Kent Moffett.
Here.
Commissioner Bill Boyven.
Here.
Commissioner Rob Sheehan.
Here.
Commissioner Sarah Walensky.
Here.
Commissioner Indra Deb.
Not here.
Absent.
Yep.
Okay. The chair, Larry Cohen, is here. Let's see, then two. And Commissioner Ed Laturco.
Not here.
He's not here today?
Right.
Okay. He's absent.
Yep.
Okay. Conservation Administrator Eileen Coleman.
I'm here.
And Associate Conservation Administrator Lucy Hanson.
Here.
All right. Okay, we're all set. Okay, so we have the meeting to order. Public comment. Is there someone here for public comment? John, I assume you are?
Yes.
Sure, please. Oh, these are my glasses.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
John Hickey, resident, 10 Sarah Street, Burlington, Mass. I'm speaking briefly this evening in regard to the property at 12 Sarah Street, as you're quite well aware at this point.
Sure.
And it will be my last. To date, everything regarding the property at 12 Sarah Street has been recorded in the public record, but tonight I'm going to speak on behalf of the residents of Burlington. As you are more than aware, I have been forced to attend 8 public meetings and write many, many emails over the last 18 months, as most of my concerns and issues around the property next door to me at 12 Sarah Street have not been properly addressed in accordance with the legally filed order of conditions from May of 2024. I've been told time and again that this is the most highly engineered private property that you've seen in 30 years, and frankly, it is clear to me that this is an engineering experiment, period. Furthermore, it's alarming to me that the only communication that I have ever received from the commission to my many concerns over 18 months, up until yesterday, was if I had any water in my house yet. The answer to that question is no, as we've had a drought this year. That being said, most of the wall still remains unmortared, and both the engineer and the commission, Mr. Debs, and 2 stonemasons I brought into my property all said that it should not remain that way. Mortaring just the top of the wall and a plastic lining inside a wall doesn't cut it for that type of engineering project. This, in fact, is the only stone wall that I've seen in several local towns that is not fully mortared. Please fix it as soon as possible. I've been forced to retain legal counsel for advice, and according to both Mass statutes and Burlington bylaws, a legally filed order of conditions cannot just be arbitrarily changed by 1 or 2 commissioners and its administrator without following the correct legal process, which involves a full public discussion and vote by the whole commission for changes to be made. I've been told by Mr. Cohen that these changes happen all the time, but that it does not make it right or legal. Last year, the whole commission thoughtfully discussed and with public hearings and input voted on the order of conditions. For several commissioners and the administrators to take it upon themselves to make changes without following the legal process is a disservice to the full commission and the work that they have done. And it should be alarming to property owners that have to deal with the Conservation Commission in this town, of which I've lived in for 63 years, and it is not to be tolerated. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your comments. Are you aware that we sent you a letter?
I did, thank you. I saw some of the things you're trying to accomplish. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not sure, but there might be another person.
Is there another person looking to speak? I think you're raising your hand.
No, he's talking on the phone. I thought he was unmuting himself earlier, so I thought he wanted to speak.
No, he's just waving his hand.
Well, he's on the phone.
Oh. Okay, so I guess public comment period is over. Okay, we have approval of minutes for November 13th. Were they ready?
They were not. Nope.
That's why I didn't see them. Okay. Request for certificate of compliance, 6 Dublin Circle, Ramesh Parwani, DEP file number 122-697. Is there somebody here, either virtually or in person for this?
No, unless I'm surprised. Ramesh had to travel out of the country yesterday, so I told him that if there were any issues, we would let them know. We visited this property yesterday. You had issued an order of conditions in February of 2024 for an addition. It also involved putting in 2 stormwater chambers and cutting down 12 trees fairly close to the house, mostly in order to actually accommodate the addition, and a couple of them just weren't in good shape. We went out there yesterday. We saw the trees that had been taken down. 2 of them were left as nice large snags, which were looking good. One of them was already resprouting. They replanted, they were asked to replant 8 trees. They actually planted 9. 7 were large and 2 were dogwoods, so they're on the smaller side. Those were to be left for 2 seasons, and they were planted in July. So it's up to you. I would suggest that you issue his certificate of compliance. I don't have any issue with it. It's up to you whether you want to hold some of the bond, as we usually do.
And you're recommending to be clear, you might want to hold the bond because of why?
So the trees, so that we can keep an eye on the trees for 2 full growing seasons. That's what you usually do.
Right. But the grass, the area was stabilized.
Everything was stable. Everything's looking pretty good.
Right. Okay, Sadie, anything on this?
No.
Kent? Bill?
No, I liked what I saw. It looked very good, and I love the size of the trees that were put in. They were like 9 to 12 feet tall, each one of them. They were planted correctly, so it looked like it was done well.
All right. Rob, anything on this? Sarah?
I'd echo what Bill said and add, it might be time to take off those tree gators, because having them all winter isn't going to do anybody any good. But overall, look good to me.
All right. What about, does anyone have an opinion on retaining the bond? These were not small trees. These were very substantial. And they looked like the stems all were alive. So it looks. What?
It was 2,500. They went in July. They should really be watered for another, come spring again, definitely, for next year, right, Sarah?
Yeah.
So it's whatever the commission wants to do.
Have you in the past, issued a partial?
Yeah.
Do that all the
We can
time.
do that. All right, if there's no further discussion, could I have a motion to issue the certificate of compliance for 6 Dublin Circle, DEP file number 122-697?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? 500. That passes. Could I have a motion on the bond? How much would you like to release for our keep or release all of it? I need a bond.
I move that we released 1,500 and retain 1,000 until convinced that the trees are going to survive for 2 full seasons.
All right. Is there a motion to release $1,500 and retain $1,000 until the trees we're sure they're going to come back?
I move that.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? 500. Okay, now we have a property at 1A Highland Way.
We have 2 things that are not going to be here tonight. I mentioned.
Oh, yes. Good point. Bill just reminded me that we have, if anyone is looking there's a continued public hearing, item number 5, the brush field, 114 Wynn Street, right next to the middle school, the redevelopment of the playing field. That will not be heard tonight. And could I have a motion to continue that hearing until the meeting of January 8th, 2026?
So moved.
Second? All in favor? Okay, that's 500. We also have, right here, we have number 6. It's a continued public hearing of 7A Street, American Maplewood Properties. It's for material storage and crushed stone parking areas, DEP file number 122-715. Could I have a motion to continue that hearing until the meeting of January 8th, 2026?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Again, we're 500. Okay, so that takes care of the agenda. Thank you, Bill.
Yep.
So next is 1A Highland Way. It's applicant is Mark Morocco. It's a stormwater permit. It's on for a
Hi, good
certificate of
evening.
compliance.
Mark Morocco, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Okay, so would you like to say anything before we get started?
No, just thank you for helping me, that's all.
Yeah, there's,
Yep.
yeah, okay. We were out there. Lucy, you want to comment on this one?
Yeah, you guys issued a standard stormwater permit pretty recently. I think it was just this spring.
Sorry, I'm just getting it.
Oh, yes. Issued a standard stormwater permit for this construction. It was previously, I believe you subdivided your lot, so it was a empty lot. There was a lot of tree clearing here, only, I believe, 4 within the rear 15-foot setback that is jurisdictional. So you did ask for 4 native trees to be planted. There was no watering requirement for this permit, so there's nothing to consider there. All the lawn has come in nicely. There are, click over, 4 trees planted. We saw them on site. They have shed their leaves for the winter, but I have some pictures up here from when they did have some leaves back on them, when I did the initial CO. Not that you can necessarily see it real good from where you're sitting, but as far as I'm concerned, this was built as designed. It looks great.
All right, a few of us were out there. Sadie, anything on this one? Nope. Kent, anything further in this? Rob, anything? Bill?
Nope.
Sarah?
No?
I have, Eileen, did you want to mention about the swale that,
Oh, well, I think Lucy will,
Oh.
sorry.
yeah, Lucy?
Yeah,
She's in charge.
that's my bad. We did initially talk about, when we were issuing this permit, we talked about putting in a swale along the boundary. I'm trying to gesture to it. I don't even know which mouse to switch.
Right.
Right here, between 1A Highland and 100 Francis Wyman. The permit said swale to be discussed after issuing. So we were going to talk with the engineer after the fact, before the building permit was issued. We ended up deciding with Fred Russell, the engineer, that a swale there would just push water more towards the road.
Right.
Which is counterintuitive to what we were doing here. So we ended up going with no swale as the
It
option.
was a little bit more obvious standing on the site after it was
Yes,
developed.
yes.
So,
Yep,
it was a nice thought, though.
thank you.
Okay. All right, so is there any comment from the commission on this? Anything further?
No.
Can I just give Mark just the advice that you need to keep, like we just said for the last project, you need to keep watering those trees.
Oh, sure.
Come spring again,
Yep.
just give them plenty of water because it'll
Sure.
take a little while to establish.
Yep, thank you.
Sure. All right, could I have a motion to issue the certificate of compliance for 1A Highland Way for Tamak Morocco for a stormwater permit?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? That's 500, all set. Is there a bond on this one?
There is, sorry, yeah, $2,500.
All right, so does the commission feel we need to retain the whole amount for anything? Okay, is there a motion?
So
To keep some of it, or, I'm sorry, I was,
You just moved something, but I don't know what you moved.
I thought it was closing, but no, that's all right. Go ahead.
Sarah, let's explain, in this particular case, well, no, I suppose we could. We could always just go and check it. That's true.
That's true. I do believe, I don't think that it was conditioned for the 2-year requirement for establishment.
It's a stormwater permit. We have to maybe think about those going forward.
Okay,
Yes.
so we
Okay, so
didn't
it's
put
not-
in it to verify for 2 growing
We
seasons?
didn't, as I said, because it's a stormwater permit. We just hadn't done many single-family houses until this
Right,
year.
right.
So maybe we'll think about whether
Okay.
we're allowed to do that.
All right, is there a motion for full release of the bond, please?
So moved.
Second? All in favor? 500.
All set?
You're all set?
Thank you, guys. Appreciate all your help.
Yeah, thanks so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
It looks really good.
Yeah, it does. Enjoy the house.
Come inside sometime.
Yep.
Anytime. Coffee.
Okay.
Okay, next, we have a request for determination, a continued a meeting. It's at 22 Carroll Ave for Felix Ramos to construct an addition. Hi there. So please introduce yourself again for the record and who you're affiliated with, and then you're welcome if you'd like to say anything before we get started.
Name's Araceli Lopez. Sorry for the sore throat. Talking on behalf of Felix Ramos. It's a little language barrier there. We've recently applied for in August, but due to wait times with our surveyor, we weren't able to get a plot plan for several months. Fortunately, we did finally get it last week. Some things I did want to bring up were the erosion and sediment controls. Prior to any construction, we will install erosion controls measures such as silt fencing, straw wattle, stockpile containment. These will stay in place until the site is fully stabilized, helping prevent soil movement towards the wetlands. For stormwater management, we are implementing drainage improvements to runoff from flowing towards the wetlands. This includes directly roof runoff to infiltrate features using permeable materials in appropriate areas to increase groundwater recharge. And the vegetation preservation will not be touched at all. And construction limits all work activity, including equipment and materials, will be stored in a restricted and clearly marked area to not affect the wetlands and the buffer area.
Well, you came very well prepared.
Last time I wasn't, so.
Okay, Lucy or Eileen on this?
Yes, this one came in front of us back in August. We initially asked them for an RDA because there was some confusion with the plot plan that we had on the building permit when they first applied for that, when we caught this. When I saw the plan, I had thought that this, what is now labeled as deck on this plan, was the proposed addition, as the addition wasn't shown on the plot plan with their application. So we said RDA because it wasn't going any further towards the resource area. As we later found out that it is going further towards the resource area, but we decided to continue with the RDA. We've been waiting on the plot plan showing the proposed addition. We now have it, and this is, I don't know that we were waiting for anything else for them.
No, but Araceli, which is it, sorry?
Araceli.
Araceli. What did you say about stormwater? Because Felix told me about a dry well, but what, I couldn't catch what you said.
Yeah, he wants to prevent any damage towards the wetlands, so he's installing all of those on himself. What we were trying to include was to run off the roof into an infiltration system.
Oh, okay. I just didn't catch what you said. There's
Sorry.
going to be a 4-by-4 foot dry well, right?
Yeah.
All right, so do you have any, let me ask, Lucy or Eileen, do you have any further concerns about this? Or do you think it's ready to go, from your point of view?
I think, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's all right. I don't know if you have any other input.
No, it's a very, very flat site. We have been, no, we don't have any additional.
All right, that's fine.
I know, I was trying to remember if there was anything else. No, we're good.
Or is there anything left to be submitted from this?
No, we were waiting a long time for the plot plan, and then we just had to, there was a bit of to and fro with the,
Yeah. We apologize for the
about
miscommunication.
understanding the stormwater system, but they're definitely, it's not shown on this plan, but they're putting in a dry well about 10 feet from the addition.
And
And is that documented somewhere?
Lee, do you have documentation?
Well, do you mean, is it drawn?
Well,
we
no, I
can-
mean, is it something you can refer back to so that after this is all concluded, is there some documentation?
Well, we wrote it on the determination,
You wrote in determination?
yeah.
And we can get photos from them when it's installed.
Yeah.
We can also provide that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And I will also add in that, and I just did some quick math, for this addition, it is below the threshold for what, for needing an abbreviated stormwater permit in case that is a factor. So we wouldn't necessarily, if this was not in a resource area, we wouldn't be thinking about stormwater for it because it's pretty small.
I see, okay, all right, got it. Okay, so,
Yeah, she means stormwater with full calcs.
Yeah.
We always want to see
Oh,
that the
we're always
stormwater is
thinking
doing
about
something.
it, but like, yeah.
Yeah,
With calculations?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Sadie, you have anything on this?
No, those stormwater controls sound great to me.
Okay. And how about Kent? How about Rob? And how about Sarah? And Bill?
What is actually being captured and sent into the infiltration system, the runoff from the additional alone?
The additional alone, but Felix did say we will be trying to merge all of the gutters together to have a clear view on it. But like we said, we can also provide photos of what we're installing and what we are doing on site for more updates.
But just the addition, not some of the existing house?
No.
Okay.
One question, do we feel that you're thinking of hooking in the other leaders into it?
That's what Felix told me, but he will determine more on site.
Okay. Is the you're putting in a dry well, correct? Is the dry well big enough to handle all of it?
I think they're not putting in the rest of the house. It's just the addition.
I think it's an aspirational someday, maybe, is what it sounded like.
Really? That wasn't what you said to me just a minute ago?
For the rest of the roof?
Yeah, she said no. It's just the addition.
Just the addition.
Okay.
Oh, so it's just the addition? You're not talking about tying in the whole house into that dry well?
No, just the addition.
Okay, that's fine. And you don't need my question.
Right.
Okay. Do you have any questions at all, or you're all set?
We are all set once with this.
Okay, so I guess we have a draft decision for the request for determination.
Oh, do you want me to share it?
Yeah, do you want to share
you
it?
can
I
share
can
it.
do it.
Well, I can, that is fine, not a problem. Do you want to go through it or will I?
You are welcome to do it.
Okay,
It's
we
been
need
so
to
long.
add in the line, our standard line about the photos, because I don't think that was in here. You might want to just make it bigger, but I can skim through this.
Have you gotten a copy of this decision yet?
They did.
Yes.
Well,
got it,
I'm not
okay.
sure.
I don't have it physically with
If you
me.
want, you can have this one. You want this one?
Yes, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, well, I'll just start going through. The references are...
So you can just refer to it.
There was a plan of land which was updated just recently to include the addition, and then there was the architectural plan set, which we had seen all along. The applicant proposed to construct a 22 by 25 foot 10-inch addition to the north side of an existing residence. Stormwater from the addition roof would go to a 4 foot deep by 4 foot diameter dry well, approximately 10 feet from the addition. The existing shed would be removed. Work was within the 200-foot riverfront area to a stream that runs through the adjacent Eversource property and the 100-foot buffer to bordering vegetated wetlands. The closest work was approximately 110 feet from the stream and 90 feet from the buffer. No flagging was done for this application, and we made no findings as to the exact boundaries of the resource areas. The commission is voting to issue a negative determination of applicability. That means that you do not need anything additional, permitting. The decision is for work only as we described tonight. Prior to beginning any construction on site, sediment barriers shall be installed and inspected by the Conservation Department at the limit of work, so that'll be across the lawn between the addition and the stream, but allowing yourself enough room to work. Staked straw wattles, a minimum 9 inches in diameter, backed with silt fence, or staked compost filter socks or compost tubes shall be used as a sediment barrier on the site and shall be installed by hand. We are suggesting that since it's riverfront, that 2 small native trees or shrubs shall be planted on site, species and locations to be determined in consultation with conservation staff. Somewhere in here, we just need to add our usual wording about provide photographs of the dry well as it's being installed, so that we are aware that it went in and in about the right place.
Absolutely.
So that sentence is just going to be finished. That's what it's going to say. All construction or demolition materials and excavated soil shall be disposed of off-site in a legal manner. Materials shall be stockpiled on site at a location that minimizes the likelihood that materials will run into the street. The stockpile should be at least 20 feet from the wetland and 20 feet from the street. No tracking of sediments onto the public roadways. If that happens, sweep the roadway. No filling or grading on the property beyond what's required for the approved work. I don't think any grading is anticipated. It's a very flat site. No invasive species shall be, oh, I'm sorry. No, I'll add it down here. No, I was saying, no invasive plant species shall be added anywhere within Burlington. Rooftop runoff shall be infiltrated to a dry well, not discharged into the roadway or adjacent lots. So I'll put the photographs thing just under that. And members of the commission have the right to just come and inspect to see that that's happening. Any non-compliance may be deemed a violation of the Wetlands Protection Act. And we won't sign off on your occupancy permit if it's not ready and we haven't taken a look at it, basically. So it just means contact us.
Okay, did you have any questions occur to you at all?
No, that's,
They're fairly routine conditions, so it's not,
yeah, we've done a couple.
okay. All right, anything by the commission, any changes to those conditions?
Sorry, so this says what? Oh, yeah.
All right, then could I have a motion to issue the negative conditional determination under Burlington Bylaw Article 14 and State Wetlands Protection Act for 22 Carroll Ave to Felix Ramos to construct a new addition?
So moved.
Second? All in favor? Okay, that's 5-0. All right, so you are all set. Thank you very much. Good to see you.
Would you like this copy back, or? Thank you.
All right, next. Okay. Notice is hereby given. We're on item number 3, I guess. This, by the way, this agenda was chronologically labeled 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 when I
I just
printed.
noticed that as we were doing it.
What?
It's 1, 2, 3, and then it starts 1, 2, 3 again.
Oops. Yes, it does.
I just had to point that out.
I just wanted to keep you on your toes.
I wanted to see if I'd noticed is what it was.
Well, I didn't until right now.
Notice is hereby given that the Conservation Commission will hold a public hearing on Thursday, December 11th, during which time we'll take all information related to a notice of intent filed by Geraldine Wilson for the construction of an addition, deck, and porch at 33 Fairfax Street in Burlington. The proposed work would be within the 100-foot buffer zone to bordering vegetative wetland pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 131, Section 40, which is the Wetlands Protection Act, and Burlington Bylaw, Article 14, and within the riverfront area pursuant to Burlington Bylaw, Article 15. The commission will be reviewing information relative to the application and may issue an order of conditions and a wetlands permit. The application materials available by going to the conservation website and click on the indicated link. All right, somebody is here for that, I assume.
Yes, I'm remote. Hi,
All right, so,
my name,
go ahead.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hi, my name is Susan MacArthur from MacArthur Environmental Consulting, and also on remotely are Jeremy Wilson, Adam Harrington, and Jay Burns from Element Construction, as well as the applicant Geraldine Wilson. She's also the homeowner.
All right, nice to hear from you all. Fine.
Thank you.
So why don't you lead off and introduce
Yep.
and say whatever you would like about your project.
Okay. So existing conditions, the lot is 19,058 square feet, and it contains a 2-story single-family home, as you can see from the picture that was just on the screen. It has a back deck, a bituminous driveway, landscaping, and maintained lawn. Topography slightly slopes down toward the rear of the yard. Elevations range from about 146 feet up near the street to down at the wetland about 133 feet at that back property line. So Sandy Brook runs behind the lot. It's on town-owned land, and it runs parallel to, kind of parallel to the back of the lot. And because Sandy Brook is not shown as a stream on the USGS map, in the vicinity of the property, it's not shown. We are considering that it is not subject to the riverfront area regulations under the Wetlands Protection Act for the state. However, under the Burlington Wetlands Bylaw regulations, section 21.7, all streams, both intermittent and perennial, are considered important to the functions and values stated in the Wetlands Protection Act, and therefore, under the local bylaw, has the 200-foot riverfront area. So as you can see, I mean, it's pretty tiny, but it's a pink line up in front of the house, and that's the 200-foot riverfront area. So essentially, almost the whole lot is within. So both the bank of the stream and the BVW, which is associated with the stream, was delineated early November of this year. And so the 100-foot buffer zone does extend, up into the backyard, and it's in green. Yep, right there. So the proposed project consists of constructing a new 952 square foot addition porch and a 54 foot square foot raised deck, as well as a driveway extension off the end of the existing driveway. And so the addition, deck, porch, and driveway extension will all occur within existing lawn or areas covered by the existing deck, or a little portion of the house. So the lower level of the addition is proposed to be a garage with living quarters above it. So therefore, the entire structure will sit on a slab foundation. And the existing driveway, as I said, will be extended, and that extension is going to be comprised of gravel to allow infiltration of stormwater. So this area of driveway is approximately 1,036 square feet of the existing lawn, and no trees are proposed to be removed as part of the project, because as you saw in that photo, it's pretty much all lawn right there. So the entire project lies within the 200-foot riverfront area, the locally regulated, and approximately 92 square feet of the addition / deck lie within the outer 90 feet of the 100-foot buffer zone to the BVW. So prior to any ground disturbance, we are proposing to install an erosion and sediment control barrier consisting of compost filter tubes or equivalent. And also we're proposing a dry well, as you can kind of see in the backyard, kind of on the corner. I don't know if, right there, which will handle the clean rooftop runoff from the addition. It'll be sized to handle a 1-inch storm event with a capacity of 132 cubic feet of volume. In addition, to mitigate for work within the riverfront area, we're proposing to plant 5 native shrubs along the back of the maintained lawn. Sorry, somebody's talking. Just outside of the wooded area, 5 native shrubs, and that will consist of arrowwood and blueberry. And I think that's it. If anyone has any questions.
All right, well, let's see what we come up with. If we have to, we'll make a list with, anything that needs to be done.
Yep.
Eileen, you have any comments on this?
Susan's summary was very good, very clear. I would like to say to her that we actually very much appreciated getting the drawing that was already pre-colored. It makes it very easy to read. We like that.
Thank you.
I want to clarify also for Susan that not every stream, including intermittent streams, has a riverfront in Burlington. There is, the regulations includes a map as one of the appendices that shows the streams additional to the perennial streams that are protected. This happens to be one of them. That's why we had told you that
Okay.
this is
Yeah.
protected under the bylaw. So everything else that she said is, was very clear. It's going to be an addition on a slab. It's a pretty large addition, so it's coming out considerably closer to the stream than the existing house. Their calculations were that this was, I think, 4.99% addition of impervious surface, which I think is a bit cheeky to suggest that that is under the 5% threshold. However, they are providing a dry well, which is going to take, I mean, that's got a fairly significant capacity, that 132 cubic feet.
The 5% is
water.
what? Could you explain that a bit? The 5%?
Oh, that's for stormwater.
Oh, for storm.
So every single-family house rebuild and any work that involves an addition of 5% of impervious surface across the lot requires a stormwater permit, which means we would be asking for calculations to, prove that they're meeting the pre and post development rates and volumes, all those things. But as I
So
said.
that is 5% of the entire lot
Yes,
area?
5% of the
Okay.
entire lot. But, as I said, they are providing a pretty substantial dry well, so that's up to you if you want to ask for something else. They did not provide any alternatives analyses, which you do require under the bylaw requirements for work in riverfront. I'm not sure whether that really is going to matter to you. For an addition that large, I'm not sure where else they could put it. Their alternatives would be to make a smaller addition, so that's up to you what you want to ask for. But hang on, do I have anything else? Nope.
And to be clear, we're not closing tonight. Is that correct?
That is up to you. They have opened and they have received a file number.
Oh, they do have a file number.
They do. Typically, we open one night and we close in a subsequent meeting, but it's up to you whether, this is actually somewhat similar to the previous project that we just heard, so it's up to you if you want to expedite that.
You do have draft documents?
Yeah, given the holiday schedule as well.
I have actually drafted, I haven't shared it with everybody, but we have a draft that we could work on if you really want to tonight,
All right.
on my system.
It's on your system?
Mhm.
Okay, you didn't pass it out, though?
Nope.
Okay, all right, now I'm clear. Okay, all right, Sadie, on this one, you can see the picture over there, I guess, yeah. Any questions at all?
No.
Okay, how about Ken?
No, the only one that has some alternatives analysis. That's the only question I had.
What are you asking?
Oh, Eileen had pointed out whether we'd require one or not. That was the only real question I had.
We can discuss it, let's keep going. Rob?
I was just wondering, is towards the very back of the lot, is there anything in there, like within the flagged area or the do not disturb area?
Is there anything in it, do you mean like,
Like that could be sort of,
do you mean dumping or something?
yeah, or something?
There was a little bit of like yard waste, sort of close to the edge of the wetland. I would suggest you just tell them to refrain from dumping there anymore. But I didn't notice anything untoward back there.
Oh, okay.
No.
We saw deer, it was great.
Deer, we saw deer.
Just dropped it.
Mm.
Yeah.
6 of them.
All right, Sarah?
Just a question, why sometimes dry wells and other times Caltech chambers?
What we find is that we usually get Caltech chambers when they are providing full-on calculations, because I think it's just because it's easier, and Sadie, you might know the answer to this as well. With the HydroCAD, it's kind of just easier to plug and play with something like that to make sure the numbers work.
And the technical difference is what? I presume a dry well is has some sort of structure over it to prevent it from collapsing.
No, not a dry well is more of a cylinder, usually, and these guys can correct me with whatever it is that they're planning, but usually it's like a cylinder, like a, sometimes it can be plastic, but other times it's concrete, like a manhole,
Like a manhole bottle, that underground.
kind of, yeah.
Okay.
And then, it's usually got holes in it, so the inside is empty, and then it's surrounded by stone, and then it's just underground. So the bottom is open, bottom's open, right?
And is it like sodded over and it just has pipes that feed into it?
Yes,
Or- okay.
but again, I think you've got a lot of construction people on here, so you could ask.
Would you like
they
to
might answer
comment, would
better
you
than
like
me.
to comment and give us a description of your infiltration setup, the dry well detail?
Adam, do you want to take this, or do you want me to?
Yeah, you can take it, Susan, that's fine. But yeah, it's a simple dry well.
I think we have a detail.
I believe there is.
Yeah, it's in
I
the-
don't
it's
have
mentioned
it,
in the
Oh, right.
I don't have it on here.
Oh, I'm not sure. Let me pull up the plan.
Okay.
If I have it.
Want to look at my plan? I have it right here.
Oh, then I can just look.
She
at
can
this.
look right here.
Oh, I
Great.
see. Okay,
This
sure.
is, see this
Oh,
fabric
it's
here?
showing you exactly that, a cylinder with
Stone
holes.
here.
It's on the same page, it's just like
Holes for it
down
to
there.
come out of.
It's like a
chamber.
septic tank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eileen, if you zoom out on the plan, there's a detail on the plan, or slide the plan up, you'll see.
No, just for the purposes of sharing, she had just taken a little snippet there. I'm going to open it up right now.
Dig down.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
Sarah,
do you want me to share? I can show you.
no, I've got it too.
I can see it.
Got it too.
She can see it.
I saw it on the paper.
Well, you know what? I'm just going to become the presenter so everybody can see the dry well, because
I can-
now we're invested.
Now we're in it.
We're invested
We
in this
need to
dry
see
well.
this dry well.
Okay? When it's, okay, I'm just going to zoom in a bit.
Yeah, it's the
Yep.
bottom left corner.
Yep,
Um,
all right, there.
Yeah, so essentially it's a chamber, some type of, it could be round, it could be a rectangle or whatever. And it's essentially, I don't know why it's not showing
No, it was
up.
me. It was my thing was just being slow to open.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so essentially the gutters would, there'd be gutters on the new addition, and they would run down to this underground chamber. Usually it's more than, it's typically about 10 feet from the house, because they don't want it, you don't want it too close to the foundation. And it would be lined with stone, and the stone would have voids in it, and so that's accounted for in the calculations. And before the stone goes in, I believe there's filter fabric that is, put down first, just so that the fines don't, they get trapped. And I mean, I think that's essentially it, and it just needs to be sized appropriately to handle the cubic feet of volume that the new addition would be able to handle, so.
It's a very solid structure.
Thanks.
Okay, let's see, Bill, I guess we're going to you.
I have nothing. I think it looks like it's a good project. The lot is not going to require any tree cutting or anything. It's pretty clear. I think it's going to be fine, and it's a nice application of the new ADU regulations that we have, so.
Yeah, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to say, I think this is a strong application. I think everything that you presented here is clear. And we do have a locally regulated riverfront area, that's correct, right, Eileen?
Yep, in this case, yes, it is.
However, to me, it usually requires under the regulations an alternatives analysis, but it looks actually quite simple. I mean, the only alternative, which is probably not feasible, is to turn the addition 90 degrees or something like that. And I think, obviously, you have a deck and stairs and probably windows there. It's probably not exactly doable. I would I would be amenable to, because we have the extended schedule, I'd ask the commission to consider issuing this tonight. I don't see anything that's left to be determined. And I think we can just ask them to submit some documentation for the record regarding the, that particular alternative, so we have something that complies with the regulations. That would be my
I can
suggestion.
do that. It has received a DEP number and no comments as yet. So if DEP somehow shows up with comments about it, I mean, they've got a few days before we would issue anyway.
Right.
I don't really anticipate anything though.
Right, right. So how does the commission feel about that? Rob or Sarah, any comment on that proposal to issue this tonight? It seems straightforward from my perspective. Sadie, you okay with that? Kent? Bill, how do you feel?
I think it's fine.
All right, so to the applicant, how do you feel about us issuing tonight?
That would be wonderful.
I thought you'd say that.
Wonderful.
Okay, so let's, why don't we, this is a hearing, right? So is there anyone else in the audience, I'm supposed to call on people, is there anyone else in the audience or online that wants to say something about the project for 33 Fairfax, Fairfax Road, I guess?
There's nobody else online.
Nope, okay, so why don't we move this along then? Okay, either Lucy or Eileen could take the lead.
Okay, so as I said, Larry and I had a little sort of mini chat about this earlier, so I drafted something just to have in our back pockets, just in case we did this. So it's pretty standard, so I'm going to go through it. This will be the first time everybody hears it. So Susan and you guys listen up and look at the screen in case I misrepresented anything. And we're going to be taking this part out because continued hearing dates, we're taking that away. Okay. A notice of intent, Burlington Wetland Bylaw application was filed for the construction of a new 900 square foot addition. Oh, is that right? Did I take that from something else, or is it really 900 square feet?
It's bigger.
I'm sorry.
I
That's wrong.
think it's, okay.
It's a little bigger, right?
900 is the limit for an ADU.
Yeah, it is 900 square feet. It's 900 square feet,
It is
thank you.
900, right. Okay, sorry. I obviously did get it right, and sorry about that. Yeah, as Bill was just pointing out, that is the size limit for an ADU. With a deck and a porch within the buffer zone to bordering vegetated wetlands and within the riverfront area of a stream regulated under the Burlington Wetland Bylaw. The project also included installing a dry well for infiltration of rooftop stormwater from the addition and approximately 750 square foot gravel driveway extending from the existing paved driveway. That was me measuring, and the plan was not to scale. So is that 750 feet right? Because I feel like Susan mentioned a different number earlier.
Yeah, my number was different, but I don't know. I mean, Adam, what do you think?
I'm going to actually defer to Jay. Jay, can you confirm whether or not the driveway is 750 square feet?
Well, how about I continue and Jay checks and then get back to me in a minute?
Yeah, that's good.
So here, those dates are highlighted just because I wasn't sure whether we were going to continue this or not, so I'm going to remove the January one because we're actually opening and closing tonight. Plan document references, there was the plot plan of land signed and stamped by a PLS, then the notice of intent submitted by MacArthur Consulting. I had pointed out that the alternatives analysis was missing, but the commission has determined that that is okay under the circumstances. The proposed work would be within the 100-foot buffer to BVW and within the riverfront to a locally regulated stream. The closest point of the proposed dwelling would be approximately 126 feet from the stream and 93 feet from the BVW. The closest disturbance, which is installation of the dry well, would be approximately 86 feet from the BVW. Again, I was measuring as best I could since the plan that I received was not to scale.
No, I think that's right.
Okay, I knew it was approximate.
Yeah.
The commission is finding that this project is exempt from the stormwater regulations as it is an addition to the existing single-family house. The bylaw regulations do include a performance standard for buffer zone which states that runoff or any new impervious surfaces shall be infiltrated on site to the maximum extent practicable. And to do so, stormwater from the new dwelling will be directed to a 4 foot wide by 4 foot deep dry well surrounded by 1 foot of stone, and the driveway surface will be gravel. In addition, erosion and sediment controls will be implemented during construction, minimizing any impact to resource areas. A lot of the rest of this wording is standard wording that we have in every single bylaw decision, Susan, so, I mean, feel free to have an issue with it, but it's in every single one. It goes down to say, again, no construction will take place on site until the installation of erosion controls is complete. Proper sediment barriers may include compost tubes, minimum 12 inches. What you had on the detail was actually 18-inch compost tubes. Now, you can use those if you want, but that's kind of overkill in our experience for a residential property. So we'll be fine if they're, as long as they're 12 inches or bigger, or if they can be hay bales or 12-inch straw wattle with fabric fence backing. Use of pesticides, herbicides, fungicides is not wanted in a riparian zone or close to wetlands. And we would propose a cash performance. What we put here is in the amount of $2,500, which the commission will discuss after this point. And then I'm going to move on to unless you have a particular question or you have an answer for me about the driveway, I'll move on to the order of conditions. Do you have a number for the driveway?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I don't have those figures in front of me. We couldn't get the civil engineer on the call tonight. I could answer any questions about the actual structure, but as far as the driveway, I don't know.
I was going to say 800, bump it up by 50, just so we're a little closer to what it might be.
Yeah, I'm sure we could always size the dry well, accordingly.
Okay, well, you can respond to me tomorrow with an email if we find I'm outside the realm of what appears to be correct.
Eileen, my number, by the way, was 1,036 square feet.
Yeah,
I think I had measured that in Adobe, but, on the plan.
I'll change it to 1,000 before I move on. Back here to this.
Yeah.
1,000.
That's fine.
Okay. I'm going to move over to the order, which is a separate document for those of you who just aren't au fait with this. The plan references are the same, the plot plan, the notice of intent, and again, I'm removing the portion about the alternatives analysis. Susan, unless you have any objection, I'm going to skip down through some of these because you're probably aware many of these conditions are pretty standard and they're on every single order that we issue. I'll go through.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to go through. I'm just curious about the one, the bond or whatever that one was,
That is
put up
that is under our
money.
bylaw. The commission chooses to always apply a bond, which is like, I guess it's not the carrot, I guess it's sort of a stick, which is, they ask for an amount so that if something goes wrong in the course of construction, or if you don't plant those trees, for example, that you have promised, then the commission has some money to, as an incentive. If everything goes as expected, you will get all of that bond back.
Okay.
Okay?
Real quick, this is Adam. So it's a $2,500 bond that is what you're looking for?
That's what I've just put in for now, but the commission will discuss that in a few minutes. You might.
Okay, and
you think that's a bit.
you're saying we get that back
Yes, you do.
at the end of the project or something like that?
Provided that we do everything that's asked, that we have stated, and
Okay.
that's in the order of conditions, yeah.
Okay,
Okay?
all right, not a problem.
Here, I forgot to pass that around, sorry about that. So just moving down to some of the bolded ones, and then we'll hop around. This order permits work within the 200-foot riverfront area of a stream regulated under the bylaw and buffer zone to bordering vegetated wetland adjacent to that stream. No work within any wetland resource area has been permitted by this decision. The order shall be deemed invalid if any of the information provided to the commission is found to be incorrect. In issuing this order, the commission has also adopted the findings pursuant to the Burlington bylaw. That was the other document that I just read a few minutes ago. The next couple are just standard conditions about responsibility and your responsibility for getting all your other permits. We're just going to jump down to the pre-construction conditions, which is basically saying that you need to give us notice a few days before work starts to say that you're going to commence activity on the site. At that time, we will, it's all sort of, I'm just summarizing what's in these next couple. At that time, we will schedule a site visit with you, and we will look to see that you've got your erosion controls in place and anything additional erosion controls are needed at dumpsters, whatever it is you need to have on site. At that time, you should have recorded the order of conditions and have paid your bond. And at that point in time, if all of those things are done, then we will issue the approval for your building permit. That's what all these next few things say. Then under erosion controls conditions, we're just saying what we said in the bylaw, which is that you have to put your erosion controls up ahead of the construction work, and those shall be compost tubes, which you have in your reference plan, but we can agree on something else if you prefer an alternative on the day. Materials shall be stockpiled on site within 50, shall not be stockpiled within 50 feet of the wetlands or stream, nor at a location that would allow materials to run into the streets, and the stockpile should be at least 20 feet from the street. Any fill, material, loam, or other material stockpiles should be kept encircled with hay bales and covered. No dewatering is permitted on this site unless we approve a dewatering plan. At the end of the workday, keep the roadway clean. Catch basins within 100 feet of the work shall be protected with silt sacks or equivalent. We reserve the right to require additional erosion controls and or damage prevention controls if deemed necessary. And what that really means is when Lucy does inspections, if she discovers that you're pulling out a lot of sediment into your frontage, she might ask you for erosion controls in the front. But I don't really anticipate that being an issue because all the work is going to be at the back. Under work involving filling and grading, it's just saying no additional grading may occur beyond what's shown on the plan without coming back to us for additional approval. These pollution control conditions, they're all very standard. We have them in every single order that we issue, and they're basically saying don't dump anything into the stream or into the wetlands. Anything that does fall in, take it out straight away. Be aware of what fuel, oil, and equipment operations and chemicals you're using on the site. If there's a spill, you let the correct people know. That's basically what a lot of those are saying. Pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides should not be used within 100 feet of the wetlands or stream as shown on the plan referenced in this decision. Fertilizer may be used if it's a slow-release phosphorus-free fertilizer. This condition will be noted on their certificate of compliance as existing in perpetuity. For stormwater management, we're saying that the rooftop runoff shall be infiltrated into a dry well, as we described earlier, 4 feet wide by 4 feet deep. The driveway expansion will be gravel. The applicant shall provide photographs of the stormwater management system being installed. So basically, you're going to be keeping in touch with us at some point along the way, and just let us know when that's going to happen and send us those photographs. And the stormwater management system shall be, and the driveway shall be kept in good working order and shall not be replaced with an impervious material. This condition will be noted on their certificate of compliance as existing in perpetuity. I got that wrong. It must have been from something else. You had said 5 shrubs are being planted per your plan, right? 5, oh, sorry. I don't know why I put an E instead of a.
Yes.
5 native?
Yeah, we have 5 or 6 plants that are going to be put on the back of the property.
Great. More is always better, but 5 is your minimum that we have to have there.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
Do you have something to add, Susan?
No,
Okay.
that's all.
And then the last part is how you go about applying for your certificate of compliance. Okay? Which I think Susan probably knows the material you would generally need. Form 8A, an as-built plan,
I do.
proof of what's there, photographs if necessary, and a written narrative prepared by a PE or land surveyor or wetland scientist just saying everything was built as expected, or detailing where there were minor variations. So I think they had a question about the.
All right, do you have, besides the bond, do you have any other, we'll get to that. Do you have any other questions on the various conditions that were just read out loud?
I do not, I don't know if the team does. Rest of you have
I mean,
questions?
you can always ask questions even after the fact to the staff, which can resolve issues anyway, if something comes up.
But we can't.
That's true.
But as
Yeah,
Nikki
I
pointed
think we're
out,
good.
we can't change the order of
Well, we
conditions.
can't change the order, but, I mean, if there's a clarification or something doesn't work, you can talk to the staff about it.
We'll work with you.
Got it. Yeah.
I had one question.
Yeah, it seems like everything is within lines of kind of what behind the scenes Susan has worked with us and the client with. I don't see an issue.
Okay.
It's very standard.
Just,
All right.
just on dry wells, like, I know like with maintenance of them, like a lot of times if they're not kept like, after storms and stuff, that's one of the big issues. I know when I was gonna do it on my property, like if you don't properly make sure they're cleaned, and is that something needs to be, I don't think dry wells are, they're not the same as like Sarah touched upon it, but is that something that needs to be, because basically, like, I know
Well,
that's one of the big things, if they're not
I think the way
maintained.
this works, they'll correct me if I'm wrong on this, if the dry well, for instance, got backed up, which probably won't for rooftop water, but if it did, there's a overflow
Yep,
pipe, and you would, if you see water coming out of the overflow, you know it's not.
yep,
They gotta look into it.
yep. No, that's wanted to.
Susan, that's actually a
There
good
is
point.
access to
Susan or whoever is
Yeah,
going to
ma'am.
install, will the dry well have a port? Does a dry well typically have a port for looking in?
Not on the plan.
No, not yours,
This one does not?
not for a dry.
Have a what? I'm sorry.
A port.
Have a what?
Like a clean out.
It's a
port.
viewing
A
thing,
port.
so you can look at, is that my accent? It might be my accent, sorry.
No, it's not.
Port, P-O-R-T. Sometimes,
There's an overflow pipe, if that's what you're asking.
no, it's not. I mean, something for actually
Is
viewing the, sometimes with stormwater chambers, they're provided with a port, so you can actually look
well-
into them and test them.
Essentially like a manhole cover, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
Oh, there's a manhole cover.
There is a
Oh, well, then
manhole.
it'll be very visible.
The detail shows it.
Under soil, but you
But
could.
Might be
but
under
it-
soil.
But it's buried under like a foot or so, so if they're having
Well-
trouble with it, it's actually
It-
access.
it's actually 6 inches,
It will have a manhole.
Right,
so you can dig down.
Yeah,
6
I
inches,
mean-
open it up.
so that's actually,
According to the detail, there is a manhole cover.
Usually in dry wells.
that's good to know.
My experience over seeing many of these,
Yep.
the bigger infiltration things will have the ports to look into. And the smaller things like dry wells do not. They just have a cover on top of them and
Yeah.
that's it.
Right.
That's the downside, if you have to, is something you have to dig up, but it's only 6 inches. but
Yeah.
it's-
Well, like I say, if you see water coming out
Yeah, no,
of the overflow, you
Yeah.
can just kind of.
No, but it's different than like a call tech, you
Right.
like have to get going.
All right, so let's, Sadie or Kent, anything further in this? No? How about Rob or Sarah? No. Bill, anything further?
Just what we were discussing about the trench.
Yeah, I was actually noting that the erosion control along the interceptor trench, I would think where you're putting stone down and digging the interceptor trench, that your erosion control should be further down. The yellow line on your drawing seems to only go halfway down.
Lucy's just going to share it in the screen so we can see what you're talking about.
Sure.
Let me figure this out.
Because I'm not quite getting it. I have to see the visual.
That's fine.
All right, where do you mean now?
Okay.
Talking right down here.
The bottom of the drawing,
Yeah,
do you see the yellow at the very bottom of the drawing?
yeah,
That's erosion control, I think.
uh-huh.
And it only goes halfway down the trench, along the
Oh.
length of the trench.
I see what you're saying.
So,
Right. It should
you know,
go
they're
further.
going to be digging out the interceptor trench, they're going to be putting stone down. I think if you want to truly protect the neighbor along that side, you would extend the erosion control down to where the gravel driveway begins.
I would agree with that. How do we capture that now?
I see what you're saying, yeah.
I assume you don't object to that.
Assume what?
I assume you will not, you don't object to that. change.
No, it makes sense. I don't know that it slopes that, toward the neighbor as far as the land goes, but it makes sense, so that way it doesn't, nothing gets over the property line.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing on the order, I was thinking we should have some documentation in the file regarding a small alternative analysis, that they should submit it after the fact, and for the file, for the record, that this is the least,
Are you sure you're confident with
What?
approving this without, I mean, it's just we're asking for a lot of after the fact. Well, okay, it's only one after the fact thing, I suppose. What direction is that? I just want to say. Is that-
Well, it's actually up to the commission. I think, given the proposal we have here, there's not much to say about what the alternatives are. So I think it's a minor request, is what I'm thinking. Anyone have an opinion on that?
I agree, it's,
Yes.
we just verbally talked about what it is, and they can document it afterwards, but the alternatives are not viable in the sense that you need access to this. As an ADU, it has to have its own entrance and its own parking, and, that's gonna have to be attached to the driveway.
Right.
Lucy was just pointing out that you could waive it if you prefer, or do you want something in writing?
It's just under the bylaw if you wanted to waive it.
The line of erosion code.
Well, it's up to the commission. I was just thinking that since it is a requirement of the bylaw riverfront regulations, we have it in the file, and they could submit it even after we approve this.
Okay.
But it's up to the commission.
I agree.
You okay? Everybody's not, you can't see it, but everybody's nodding their head that that's fine.
Oh, we should.
We'll just have
probably
you
share it again.
submit a small write-up that says this is the only alternative that works because of X, Y, and Z.
Oh, just because, I could have.
Okay.
I could have just.
All right, that way the file's complete, and if anybody refers back to it, yes, we have something on record regarding what's required. Okay,
I just added one line to the condition about erosion controls, just saying the line of erosion control shall also be extended west to the front of the gravel driveway. Does that capture what you wanted?
right,
Okay,
I think so.
all right, so.
All right.
Do we want to write that down?
Okay, is there anything further from the commission on this? All right, could I have a motion to close the hearing on DEP file number, what's the file number?
Oh, I'm sorry,
122 dash
I wrote it right here.
729.
729?
Right?
Okay, close the hearing for DEP file number 122-729. Is there a motion? Second?
Second.
All in favor? 500. Could I have a motion to adopt the findings under Burlington Bylaw Article 14 for DEP number 122-729?
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Same vote, 500. Could I have a motion to adopt the permit conditions under Burlington Bylaw Article 14 and the State Wetlands Protection Act for DEP file number 122-729?
So move.
Second? All in favor? Same vote, 500. Now, the bond. Does anyone have an opinion? 2,500 would, I'll ask you to consider whether that's a little bit high for an ADU. We haven't had that many of them, so we don't actually have a history here.
I will say, you guys, for the one you just closed, the order from earlier in this meeting, we had a $2,500 bond for that addition. And it wasn't in Riverfront, as far as I can remember. Is that true?
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
wait a second, which one now?
6 Dublin. Was that in
Oh.
Riverfront? Either way, it was an addition. And it was in order.
And how big of an addition was that?
1,500. It was quite small.
It was quite small. Smaller than this?
Yeah, smaller than this, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is, it's called an ADU, it is an addition,
It's up to you.
and it's up to the commission. And so I guess I have to ask you folks what you want to do. Rob or Sarah, have any opinion on this?
I don't see any need to deviate from whatever standard we have in place.
Well, we don't have them in place. Okay. Sadie or Kent? Oh, Rob, did you have something?
Oh, I was just wondering, I remember we also had, what was the bond on the, there was a detached ADU? the one
ADU
with the
Gibson.
organic
I was
growth?
just saying that, I actually think that might have been 1,500. I think you had this discussion then.
We had that discussion
It
then.
went with 1,500.
But, yeah, but I think, yeah, I'm not sure.
I think you did.
I guess it's the more recent precedent.
That's the most
That's
recent
true.
precedent.
That's true.
That's the second ADU we've had now? This is the second ADU?
Yeah, I think so.
This is the second, I
Second or
think.
third. It's early on.
Okay, it's the begin, okay,
What was
Ken?
the size differential between this one and that one?
They're both exactly 900.
900.
Yeah,
As
okay.
big as they can get away with this, under the ADU rules.
That was 1,500?
And
Yeah.
that one, in fact, was a lot closer to the street.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
right. Katie?
I agree with,
I mean Sadie?
I agree with Sarah. I don't really see any reason why not to stick with the recent precedent.
That's 1,500. Bill?
Yeah, 1,500 is fine. I think if we set that as our standard for a typical ADU, unless there's something more.
Okay. I'd like, for the applicant's edification, I've been on the commission a long time. I do not remember a time when we've actually had to use the performance bond to plant trees or anything. Has there been?
I don't think so, but that kind of points to its success.
Yeah, but I'm saying, my point is.
You always have something to hold on to.
What it basically says is, sometimes we hold it till the full growing seasons have elapsed, but the full amount of the bond almost always, I would say, well, with that much history, always gets returned. So just so you know.
Thank you. Yeah, that, we'll do what you need to do, what we need to do, but yeah, for our client's sake, I appreciate that.
Right, I just.
Quick question. So does that get returned, well, assuming that everything is done according to the order of conditions, does that get returned during the COC process or just, once we get sign off or, once the agent comes out and looks at it?
Usually when there's plantings, they have to go through a number of growing seasons, and then if there's a large bond, part of it gets released, and maybe a modest amount of it's held. That's typically what happens. It's usually not all released at the time, because there's plantings that have to survive.
But I didn't see any condition about the, growing season, and maybe I didn't see it. I don't know.
Susan, thank you, you're right. I don't think we had that in there.
I thought
Sorry
I
about
saw
that.
it. I thought
We
I-
should add it. Was it in there?
I thought so, maybe I'm not right.
Are you talking about 75% growth of
It is.
basically the plantings?
It is in
Oh,
there.
there it is. Plantings shall be monitored for 2 full growing seasons and shall be replaced if they fail to survive within that time.
And just to clarify, Susan, what Larry meant is that's during the COC process. The agent does not approve the release of the bonds
Yes.
in this case.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so could I have a motion to require the posting of $1,500 performance surety under Burlington bylaw, Article 14, for DEP file number 122-729?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor? 5-0-0. Okay, folks, you're all set. We got it all done tonight for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck with your project.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Take care. Have a good night.
You as well.
Yes. All right, next. Looks like notice is given. The Town of Burlington Conservation Commission will hold a public meeting during which time will take information related to an abbreviated notice of resource area determination filed by Mick Gandhi for the review and approval of the boundaries of bordering vegetative wetlands located at 85 Wilmington Road in Burlington. The application is being heard under the State Wetlands Protection Act and Burlington Bylaw, Article 14. The commission will review the application and thereafter issue an order for resource area delineation. The application may be viewed on the conservation website at the appropriate link. Well, good evening. Thank you for waiting.
Of course, of course.
Because, so,
Glad to be
you
here.
obviously go through your introductions, who you work for, and so forth, and then you can start speaking.
Yes, of course. For the record, my name is Anthony G. I am a wetland scientist with Goddard Consulting, here on behalf of Mick Gandhi for a abbreviated notice of resource area delineation, DEP file number 1220-0728. We received the DEP file number on the 8th with no technical comments. This is filing for a abbreviated notice of resource delineation for 85 Wilmington Road. The area is a commercial development off of the property's frontages off of Prouty Road and Wilmington Road. Resources areas found on site include bordering vegetated wetlands and bylaw jurisdictional isolated wetlands. These areas are found to the rear of the site in naturally forested areas. We visited the site with the commission on December 10th, to which we reviewed the line. In primary agreement, a flag was added between A15 and A16 to encapsulate a dip in topography that the commission wanted highlighted in the notice of intent. Most of the area serves as a functioning wetland with found off-site and the wetlands are found at the toe of a slope for the majority of the duration on site in a forested wetland. With that, I just want to open up to any comments or concerns that the commission may have. Oh, also, we don't have the site plan present with us today. We will provide that as soon as it is made.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Good summary. Eileen or Lucy, you have comments on this delineation?
Our comments are not very extensive. We brought John Keeley out with us as our consultant last week, just to give us an extra set of eyes when we reviewed the wetland line. And there were only a few places where we had some queries. We did find that indeed the wetland very much followed the toe of slope along that whole, is that eastern side there?
Sure. Plan east.
Plan east, certainly. Up to, there was a point where we had a question about whether there was a little blip between flags A15 and A16. And I will say Goddard were very responsive, because when I relayed that information to them, they went back out and they agreed that indeed an extra flag was warranted there, as Anthony just described. They put that in. We saw it yesterday. There were a couple of spots up, we'll say Plan North, kind of along the edge of the property line, I would say, where we just asked them to do a little bit of extra augering because we weren't sure. There's a couple of dips out there that, well, it's actually right up at the very top. There were a couple of dips out there that we wondered, can you just check if this is hydric soil, please? They did that. I looked yesterday while he augured as well, and I mean, I'm satisfied that the erosion control line that goes off the property to the north is pretty much accurate. And then there was the isolated wetland over to the plan left, plan west, and that was pretty accurate as well. It's actually a simple enough delineation. Most of this, the work out there, like it was a very distinct depression. We checked to see whether it was on the potential vernal pool there. It's not. And do you want to just say something about, because Larry did ask you that yesterday about
Yes.
the potential for vernal pool features?
Yeah, so that area, while it is a depressional area, is my opinion as a wetland scientist, it doesn't hold much value as a vernal pool. We have reviewed the site during high groundwater periods and during vernal pool season where it held no water. It is my professional opinion that area serves more as a rain catch basin during high rainfall periods, and then from there it just disperses naturally.
Got it.
We have been in a drought for most of the year, but
Yeah.
I still don't I'm still okay with it not
Yeah.
being,
Right.
with it as delineated as we now see it.
All right, so let's see if there's any questions or comments. Sadie or Kent, anything further? Bill?
No, nothing
No,
further.
nothing from, okay. Rob, anything? Sarah?
No.
I have one question. Is it the wetlands is it the wetlands on the right are jurisdictional under the Wetlands Protection Act and our bylaw? And is the isolated wetland only jurisdictional under the bylaw?
Yes, that is accurate. The isolated wetlands are only jurisdictional under the bylaw. And the area to the west is a deciduous wooded swamp mapped from DEP and is found to be a jurisdictional wetland under the
Got it.
Wetlands Protection Act.
Got it. And there's no riverfront here, or doing anything with riverfront?
No, there's no mapped perennial streams.
There's no
within
streams?
200 feet.
Okay, and is there any land subject to flooding at all?
No, it's not regulated within any FEMA flood zones or anything of that
Got
nature.
it. Great. Okay, are we in a position to
I
just,
did forget to just, so they're going, well, we're in a position to continue, but they haven't had a chance yet to just update their plan, so they will do that for the next meeting. They're not in a mad hurry.
Okay.
There was one other thing, which is just a minor thing. They were showing, I can't remember because I can't see it there. I think they were showing two different buffer zones to bordering vegetated wetlands and the isolated wetland, and it's actually the same. It was just probably a holdover from a different plan or something. I don't know what it was. Unless they had fixed it already. Well, they're just going to make sure they have all those buffer zones correctly marked up.
so basically, you got a few things to update for the next meeting?
Yeah, we just need to provide an updated site plan, and the following meeting would just be us coming here, making sure that the commission provided with that, and it's on the record, and everything looks okay.
So we could expect to issue at the January meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Is there, this is a hearing, correct?
Yes, it is.
So is there anybody else? There's nobody else in the room, so there's no use asking that. Is there anybody online at all about
Just
this?
us.
No?
Where did that other person go? He's
Away.
gone. Away. He was there a few minutes ago.
Was there somebody there?
I don't know
No,
why he
it's-
was
it's
there. Oh, nice.
Only me,
Okay.
Bill, Eileen, in the hearing room.
Just us?
Yeah.
Okay. Then there's nobody here else for the project. Then could I have a motion to continue the abbreviated notice of resource area delineation to the meeting of January 8th, 2026?
Awesome.
So moved.
Second? All in favor? 500. Thanks so much. Nice job. Okay. So next on, we skip down, 5 is continued, 6 was continued. 7 says violations and enforcement, 171 Cambridge Street.
Okay, this is one, we mentioned this at the last meeting. This was a violation and an enforcement order we had issued back 14, 15 months ago, where a new owner of a commercial property had put up a fence and had applied a lot of riprap-sized stones behind the fence where there's wetland and no disturb. You asked him to remove the riprap. This is what I talked about last time. He did, after many, many, many reminders, he did actually removed a lot of the stone a couple of weeks ago, and I came to you and told you that he had said that. But when I went out, there's definitely still some stone left. He did remove the stone that's directly behind the fence, the gate, should I say. There's some that Lucy is showing there now. There's still a lot of the stone that was left kind of in the behind strip. Maybe they overlooked it. Maybe they just didn't get that far. So I wanted you guys to weigh in to see whether you want him to remove all the stones, whether you would ask him to properly delineate the wetland. Do you have any other suggestions?
Okay, well.
Definitively, what we do.
Sarah and Bill attended the site visit, so I'm going to call on them, but does Kent, Sadie, or Rob have any comment on this before I move to the people who were there? Okay. All right. Sarah, you were there.
My opinion is, well, first I'd like to ask, what was he trying to do with those rocks? I'm assuming there was a problem with water in the parking lot, but the place that the rocks went is down gradient of the parking lot, so I just don't see what mitigating effect they would have if it were illegal to fill a wetland, which it isn't. That's one question. The second is, it does seem that a lot of the rocks have been removed, because I saw it right after they were put in and was, I believe, the one who originally got in touch with you
Oh,
about
yeah,
this
you were.
problem.
You were.
Because I walk by there a lot. It looks a lot less rocky there, and I think maybe there's really not much point in asking him to grub out every last one, considering the large amount of trash and debris that's there anyway, which is probably more harmful, including the highlight, which was a large fuel oil tank, which someone discarded there. I would be happy to see if he just made a good faith effort to clean up that area, especially getting rid of that tank. There may be, bad sludge in it that he doesn't want to get involved with. Might be some issues regarding contamination, I don't know.
Okay.
But that would be my angle, is just clean it up back there and maybe
Why don't
not
we
worry about the
now
rocks.
go to Bill and see what he thinks? Bill?
I feel exactly the same way. The stones are, a natural material, and a lot of them have been removed. I don't think they're damaging where they are located, but the trash and it's a, 275-gallon household oil tank that's sitting there for some reason. How and why it ended up there, I don't know, but it shouldn't be there.
All right, so I agree with both of what Sarah and Bill said, so I don't have to repeat it. All right, so it looks like, based on the comments I just heard, you wanted to know what the commission thought. It sounds like, unless the commission has an objection, it sounds like we're going to ask them to remove trash and the tank that's sitting there.
The first question would be, is that tank actually on his property? That would be one question.
Well,
And we can just ask him to remove it, and if he says yes, fine, but.
That area, so he put up the fence, and I know that behind there, even though it seems open, it was a bit of dumping ground. People do just go behind those, what's the name of that place, the fast food?
Papagino's?
Yeah, Papagino's, and they just dump stuff back there, so it's unfortunate.
Well-
That's a good question about how.
Well, I don't think we have to resolve it. We can ask him to remove it,
Yeah.
and if he says, well,
I
it's
simply
not,
refuse.
it's, if he says it's not mine anyway, so then we can pursue whose it is.
We'll ask somebody else. Papa John's or whatever, Papagino's can take it.
I'm not sure, it might be 17 Terry Ave, I
Yeah.
think that's behind.
Yeah.
I'd have to look at the aerials a
it
bit
is.
better.
Right.
You think
Iron Mountain.
that by that time it's?
I think it's probably 17 Terry Ave back there, but,
I mean, if he
Well-
wants to go back there and remove it,
How do you know that that's the?
I don't know exactly where I'm not a
We
surveyor.
could phrase it that in lieu of removing all the rest of the rocks,
Right, that's a better phrasing.
do us a favor and get rid of the crap.
that was very
Way to
good.
do it.
In lieu of.
Okay, so do you need a motion to that effect?
Let's do that.
All right.
So because, yeah.
Yes.
Because I'll
All right.
formalize it.
Could I have a motion to indicate the will of the commission is to have the owner of 171 Cambridge Street remove any trash and the oil tank, and we will indicate that the remaining a few stones embedded in the soil can remain.
And just to clarify, can I assume that if he does that, that it's done?
Yes.
That it's the enforcement
Yes.
is therefore,
Done.
okay, great.
Done and dusted.
All right. All right, is there a motion to something like what I said?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? 500. Okay, that's good. All right, planning board comments. Do we have anything for the planning board?
Let me see, the middle school playing field will require a minor engineering change, correct me if I'm wrong?
I believe
think
so.
that's correct. So that will be going in front of them. I'm not sure when they're going to have when that's going to happen, but I suspect January, they'll at least have to have their material in. So we'll just all keep in touch about that. I mean, planning and conservation. I don't think there's anything else that we have planning board comments on right now.
Not that I can think of.
Okay, subcommittee and staff reports. Would you like to talk about our trees? Would you like to talk about trees?
Well, I'll just say something brief. So for the people who haven't been here before, we've been having this kind of ad hoc tree group or tree informal committee that's been meeting on and off for the last several months to discuss ways in which we could try to establish some kind of a tree program in Burlington, and looking at different things that we can do, like establishing a tree fund, which would be a bylaw, and if everyone's in agreement, that would go to maybe to Springtown meeting. Looking at ways to incentivize planting, and we applied for one grant which we didn't get, but we're going to apply again, possibly going to apply for a grant for a tree inventory. We've had some of the students in Minuteman Technical High School doing some projects out there, like a mini inventory. I'm sure there are other things. Larry has produced some really nice documentation for us, sort of formalizing and putting a lot of what we've been discussing into words, to describe a program and to describe an incentive program. You want to add anything, Larry, to it?
Well, the whole idea is that I put some words together, I put it in the format of a bylaw, but, I mean, maybe it's better as it's not determined that a bylaw is necessary, it could easily be a program. But we would like to see if there's a way we know that trees are good for the community, we know that they deal with heat islands and keep things cooler. We also know that they're good for the environment. We also know that in areas that are wet, that they soak up a lot of water. And so we'd like to encourage people to plant trees. So we're thinking of different ways to perhaps have an incentive program that might deal with monies going in and out from a tree fund. And one way to possibly deal with, there's a number of sources that can be, perhaps if we set it up right, there can be voluntary donations into the tree fund. There can be donations given in memory of somebody. There could be people that have, they took down trees and they have to replace them, and for conservation. And in some cases, when a tree is taken down for conservation, it's really heavily wooded, and we could give them the option of contributing to a tree fund instead. So there's lots of things we can do with a potential tree fund. I mean, in the past, we also we used to give away very small trees, but we used to have a tree giveaway. We used to actually, on Earth Day, we would give about this high, and people would give out a couple of hundred trees.
Election day.
Election day?
Election day, you go out, as you were leaving, you'd be handed a tree.
Right.
I remember the first time I voted in Burlington.
Really? Okay, so, I mean, there's lots of things we can do, but we're, just so it's clear, I don't think we're talking about additional restrictions or regulating tree cutting or anything like that. We think, one, that's a more difficult sell with, on private property, and what we're thinking is of more incentive programs that, in exchange for people getting some financial incentive to plant a tree, they then would agree to water the tree past the critical point, which is usually a couple of years. And once the tree's established, it requires less care. So that's kind of the thinking. So there's lots of ideas floating around. We're kind of like in a meeting with, I almost want to call this group Friend of Trees, but
Brainstorming at this point, and there's a lot of programs around.
We have talked about maybe establishing a Friends of
Trees group.
So if anybody here, because you're all residents, have friends, know of people who would like to join a group like that and be part of this, brainstorming and planning, let us know or send them to us.
We'd love to have you just participate in it. And there's nothing formal, there's no formal requirements. We haven't even formed such a group yet, so it's, the obligations can be whatever you voluntarily want to do.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of communities around us that have programs already existing. They have tree committees, they have tree bylaws, they have tree funds.
Right.
That we can help people can help us review them and come up with ideas from them and collaborate into our own plan.
One of the things I think I personally have had in mind is that a lot of towns have tree committees. So there's a lot of examples that we can pull from as to what the mission of a tree committee would be. It varies all over the map, I think, and they do various things. And I think what I'm thinking is we might find useful is a tree committee that is value added to what other departments are already doing. I don't think we want to necessarily tell them that we're overseeing what other departments that are already doing things with trees. I don't think we want to necessarily do anything like that.
No.
But I'm thinking that maybe there's value-added things that we can do, but we ought to look at examples for what other towns have done.
And we're talking to the other departments in town to find out what their tree responsibilities are.
Right.
You know, do they have funding? What do they do? Who cuts the trees on the school property? Who does it in the cemeteries? And even our own Lucy now has chainsaw training, so she's able to go out
I mean,
and start cutting trees.
so when you start talking about trees, conservation, if there's a trail that needs to be cleared because something fell across it, we will send Lucy and Chainsaw out to take care of it, right?
It's true.
I mean, we have, if the school department has something to do with trees, they would certainly send their crews out.
They usually enlist the rec department if they can do it. That's what we were hearing yesterday.
Yeah, and if there's a public shade tree that has a branch that has to be trimmed or whatever, I think the DPW handles it. So we're already, I mean, the unfortunate thing is, a lot of what is done in town with regarding trees is cleaning up something that's fallen or broken or sick. It's not, we don't really have a robust tree planting program in any of those departments, I don't think.
Exactly.
So I think we're just looking at options.
Ideas.
But I think
How
one
can
thing
we-
we've already accomplished is that we're getting these departments to talk to each other about what the tree responsibilities are, including the tree warden, and, you know, to make sure that they coordinate with each other, understand what the limits are, and how to help each other in dealing with trees.
I mean, it would be, I mean, I can see a day when maybe Burlington and the municipal streets are more heavily forested than what they are now. It would be nice. But I'm not sure I will live that long to see that, but you never know. Okay.
Very good.
That's practical.
Yes. All right. All right, we'll see. Next is other business. Do we have,
I have something to ask you guys, which is directly connected to what we were talking about yesterday. So this is something that we wondered about before, and it came up yesterday with the tree committee. Sometimes it would be useful if we could have something like a Google Drive to share things between ourselves. But us, there are some town limitations limitations on sharing outside our burlington.org domain, exactly, thank you very much. So what we can do, what I've asked about and what we can do is get everybody a burlington.org email address. But if you want to do that, you do have to be willing to commit to also doing our cybersecurity training that we all have to go through, which is wonderful for any of the IT people who are listening. It's absolutely wonderful. It'll take probably,
I know where it is.
probably an hour and a half, 2 hours.
first of all, no, that's a deal breaker. Just forget it, I think.
Security, who needs security?
Basically, you just have to be willing to sort of go along with that and accept some cybersecurity training, because it's we're pretty strict on how information goes in and out of the town and what we're allowed to use and what we aren't allowed to use. So let us know. If anybody prefers to opt out, that's fine. This will also be helpful because if you have a burlington.org address, then we'll start sending materials and so on to that address. So you know to only ever look at your burlington.org address, and everything from Eileen or Lucy should probably be going there.
Right.
And it's like all your conservation stuff.
Right.
That may make it easier.
Yeah,
And then if
very
we're sharing things on a Google Drive, you'll actually be able to see it.
I remember when I was working for a while, for 25 years in engineering, the first training they give you on the computer, here is your email address for the company. never use this email address for anything. Embarrassing jokes, they had a whole list of stuff. Okay, it is on the server and we will find you.
Well, that's what they do, well, for school committee, they do, like, you're basically, like, they're always warned, like, basically, like, oh, everything has to flow, which, you know, it's a different animal, but if public records gets shown up, then.
Right.
So you don't have to go with this if you don't want to, because we do have to pay for every address. So don't tell me, yeah, I'll use it if you're not going to, and we're sending you stuff and you're not seeing it.
Right.
So make sure you're telling us what it is you're actually going to use.
I mean, it would be helpful not to get all your emails and buried in all the personal spam that I get.
Right.
Right.
I was about to create an email just for that, you know,
Right.
billsconservation.google
That's,
or whatever, you know. and-
so I think some of you are open to it. You're yes?
Yes.
Yes, I mean, yes.
Is there anybody at the moment who would prefer not to switch over?
I would do, yes. Yeah.
You're a yes? Sadie, can
We just have to
do you
ask.
too? I'm not sure whether we'll do, we probably will. We will. That puts
Don't
the
forget
voice
to
in.
ask Ed and Indra.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
All right, so that's.
Thank you all.
All right, next is upcoming meetings. The next meeting by decree will be in the new year, January 8, 2026. And after that, January 22nd, 2026. We can't turn back time, apparently. And anything else? Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Nope, we're good.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor of adjournment? 500. Good evening.